Hello viewers, welcome once again to Think Tank TV and thank you so much for joining me. Now sometimes some of the things that happen in Nigerian politics actually makes me to begin to think whether will things ever get better in Nigeria? Recall that during the 2023 elections, Nigerians had the hope that the solution to the problem of Nigeria was going to be Peter Obi, and of course, every politician must have to run on a political party, which happened to be Labour Party. But today, you can see what is actually happening in Labour Party. It actually made me remember a video I shared to you guys, I think that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where Ali Baba was unveiling some deep secrets. It was actually a leaked WhatsApp chat between himself and Obasanjo, where Obasanjo told him that the truth is that it is a known fact that for every Nigerian politician to win any election in this country, he must have, I think it's 9 or 10 governors, including Rivers, Bayelsa, Kano, Lagos, Federal Capital, and some of them, the CBN governor. And that he must also have a member that is loyal to himself in every opposition political party. Yes, the crisis in Labour Party has actually taken a major twist that made me begin to see a serious truth in the word he was saying in that video. Recall that Supreme Court recently sacked Julius Abure, who is the national chairman of Labour Party. But just a few hours ago, I saw a video on Arise. It was actually a live interview by the publicity secretary that is in the factional chairmanship of Julius Abure in Labour Party that has come out to say all manner of unbelievable things. Trust me, I began to actually lose hope in the Nigerian political system. I would like you to sit back and take a look at the words of the publicity secretary of Labour Party in the Julius Abure faction that has come out to say, indeed, we lost the election. Indeed, APC won the election. That he went ahead to name Aisha Yusufu, Nenadi Usman, most of the people that he said are part of the reasons why Labour Party failed the election. And I began to think the words of Ali Baba that showed in the leaked WhatsApp chat between himself and Obasanjo. Take a look at this video for yourself before I come back to give you a deep analysis of what I think about this video.
The Nenadi Usman-led faction of the Labour Party has ratified the suspension of Julius Abure as party chairman over allegations of gross misappropriation of funds and anti-party activities. Now, the ratification follows an investigative report by the Senator Ireti Kingibe-led disciplinary committee set up by the National Caretaker Committee. Now, the report suspended Abure as well as the National Secretary of the party, Umar Farouk, for a period of 6 months and warned both men to desist from parading themselves as National Chairman and National Secretary of the Labour Party. Well, in addition, all members of the Abure faction of the National Working Committee were mandated to stop acting as representatives of the Labour Party or face more disciplinary measures. Well, in the meantime, Abia State Governor Alex Otti has called on the INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, to implement a Supreme Court judgment to prevent the integrity of the court and protect democracy. The governor also wants the Inspector General of Police to arrest the suspended factional chairman of the party, Julius Abure, for impersonation. In a statement, Governor Otti claimed that the Supreme Court had unambiguously ruled that Abure is no longer the national chairman of the Labour Party. He urged Nigerians to disregard the news of his suspension by the Abure faction, describing that action as an attempt to be smart by half. After being summoned by a committee to respond to allegations of misconduct, well, we're now being joined by a factional national publicity secretary of the Labour Party, Abayomi, Arabambi, to discuss the leadership crisis rocking the Labour Party, who's in charge of its affairs, and how to achieve a common ground between both factions of the party. Good to have you on the show once again, as we have many times here on Newsday, Mr. Arabambi.
Thank you very much for having me, and good afternoon.
So what is going on in the Labour Party? Every time it seems like there's some kind of calamity to discuss and put aside. From your perspective, who is the legitimate leader of the Labour Party, and what is your basis for that position?
that we are having this crisis in Labour Party now. And before Nigerians, everything I'm going to say here, I think we need to purge ourselves before Nigerians what actually led, to this crisis. It's more than what Nigerians are seeing, and that is why I am happy I came with document and people knows me very well. This is the notice of appeal of Nene Usman, and this is the judgment of the court, the one Governor Otti was also talking about. This is the certified true copy. We did just pick it from the dustbin. But you see, Nigerians, our crisis actually emanated from our issue in 2023 general election. But there's something that we did. I am coming out now, in as much as Nene Usman will have the audacity to accuse the chairman of embezzlement. I am going to state the fact here, even by Accusations. He was on this channel regarding why we failed president election. On Arise TV, he said Peter Obi was not in a position to pay all the LP obedient agents during 2023 election. Peter Obi never had the money to do so, and thus they have to narrow it down to where they can pay and drop agents in several thousand polling units where they cannot pay. He concluded, we have a situation where many obedient and people that perform the role of agent, polling agent, were not eliminated. It was just their initiative to do so in most parts of the country, a fact that we couldn't pay many agents. Now, why did he say they were not enumerated? You see, I am going to lay bare and to ask for forgiveness of Nigerians because we actually misled Nigerians over why we failed the election. But why we failed is what I came out here. In my car, I have the CTC of all the judgment of the Court of Appeal, that is the Court of Assistance regarding our election petition, and also the Supreme Court. I made able to say that 3 people were responsible for why we lost the election, and therefore after this I will be making an open apology to the Chief Justice of Nigeria.
Which election are you discussing?
You said?
Which election? The 3 people?
Yeah, the 2023. That was where, they model something to deceive Nigerians. I am also part and parcel, but we have to purge ourselves of this fact, and I'm happy it's going to be on a rise. That's why I say I came with that fact of what transpired. It is not in another issue. It was what I want to say here that actually causes that problem. Now, in the 2023 election, you see, we were unable to field agents in 54,000 polling units out of 189. We were unable to field agents. When Mr. Peter Obi came, he took over the party machinery and handed over to Aisha Yusufu and Pastor Itwai Gadalo, and the man that absconded now, Valentine Osigbo and Oseloka, is SNG. Those were the people that managed the upload. Now, in 189 polling units, 89,000, Labour Party failed to account for 54,000. That was why he said we were unable to enumerate, submitting. That is Accusations here on this channel. I knew it was Dr. Bati and my friend, Read Fire, that did that interview. What now transpired is that we failed woefully in 54,000 body units. We do not have result to go to the election petition tribunal. In that vein, those ones that are there, he said they were unable to pay them. They used a lot of the obedient to be the party agent. Because they were unable to pay them 10,000, they absconded with that result. And in line with paragraph 4, 5, and 6 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act, petitions must be filed within 21 days, and your written statement of your witness on oath, your Form CO8, everything you have to attach it to your petition within 21 days. Labour Party failed to do that. What they now did was that there was a meeting. How do we cover ourselves up? We went to that court to lie against the judiciary because we were the one that failed. Like I said, the 4 people responsible, one just resigned 4 days ago, that was Oseloka. The other one absconded to APC. While we have Aisha Yusufu and Pastor Gadalo, they were the one that handle all the party finances. I am going to challenge Nene Usman, anybody that we should join here, we will bring the account that Labour Party did not touch the party campaign, party campaign fund. It was handled. The two signatories are Pato Ito Ekadolo and Asha Yusufu. Those were the two people. But why they are unable to pay agent remain the internal problem. But we went to the court. You see a lot of Labour Party faithful publishing the names of those judges. You see them accusing the INEC, accusing the APC. Now, if you have 189,000 polling units, you fail to feed agent in 54,000. Which election are we now saying we won? That is where that problem comes from. But our president candidate wanted this issue to be covered up. And that was the division between them and the Abure-led NWC. That was where the issue started. They deceived Nigeria up to today. People are still saying that election was rigged, but that election was not rigged.
Why are you just telling this to us now?
That is why I said
you've been on the program multiple times.
And
this is the first time we've ever heard any such bombshell.
We are tendering apology to the Chief Justice of Nigeria. We are tendering apology to INEC because
lying.
I am tendering apology.
Saying it on TV?
No, I am not. I am not in that. At least I am not part of the people, but I am privy to that. Until when I got all the certified copy from the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal, where most of these things are not related. But the point is this: why must our leaders continue, to manifest lies on here? I am on TV. I challenge any member of Labour Party to go and bring the certified copy of all the things we filed in the court. If it's different from the one I have, the Solicitor General of Police should arrest me and charge me to court. I challenge any one of them to come and tell me that what I'm saying now is like that. It was Labour Party. They made that mistake rather than for us to accept. They now put up to today. You will see a lot of our members accusing the judiciary they rigged 2023 election. I am here to say nobody who rigged Labour Party out. It was just a mistake, a calculated mistake by 4 people. Osaloka, who was absconded from Labour Party now because they caused the crisis. Valentine Osigbo, who went to run for governorship in APC, Aja Yusufu, and Pastor Ito Ekadolo. Those 4 people messes our election up. But I think, in the spirit of fairness, Mr. Peter Obi ought to have at least eat the humble pie. He knew about this, but they wanted to make Abure a scapegoat.
Buy UK property and get 7% net rent. Hello.
They now, turn around to say, oh, Abure, you did this, you did it, you did that. I said, no. You remember I met PO sometimes. I told him point blank, okay, this is not the way we are going to run this election. Let us prepare for 2027. We should not stand there and be accusing Bola Tinubu of rigging. No, we rig ourselves out because how can we lose result in 54,000 polling units out of 199? What then do we have? And we have lawyers who filed your petition without result to the court. And I also must stand the jury. You see, the judgment here was because of Labour Party. Remember in the 2023 election, a lot of them came into our party, but they were not our members. The jury have been very fair to Labour. If not, we don't have many of these people fighting the party there. It was because of Labour Party. The jury said issue of even membership remain internal affair of the party because at that time Governor Otti would have gone. Most of this, even Ireti Kinjigbe would have gone. And the Ireti Kinjigbe that even sat on the jury committee accusing Abure. I want to tell her and others, from the 6.5 million naira they were supposed to pay for nomination, Abure were so magnanimous that a lot of them pay 500,000. They are now the one that will have the audacity to now be saying, oh, Abure, you did this, you did that. They wouldn't have that opportunity in APC or PDP because they want you to pay your full money. But he admitted all of them, but he never knew they are going to be predators. So that was the major focus, that nobody rigged Labour Party. We were the one that rigged ourselves out, and it is time to tell Nigerians this is what, this is what happened. That is why I am here.
All right, guys, so let's take a look at what some Nigerians had to say. We had Tunde who said, what do they ask Oga? Waiting Oga they talk. Imagine, double exhaust. Another one also came from Chukwuebuka who said, this period will help LP know who is for or against the party. And Chirim said, he was asked a question, but he just could give the answer and just started telling us how he lied to Nigerians and shamelessly saying this. Another one came from Joavan who said, them don't buy this one new cloth. And Boris said, hand supposed touch this man. Seriously, I mean. Dumb man said, haha, with his face, the sunglasses at night. Bomb Steely said, you that was fighting Abure. Gorgeous said, this one has decamped to APC spiritually. And another one came from Azimus who said, I love Mr. Arabambi. He is very brilliant with connecting and laying out relevant issues. Steven said, this man looked very hungry. Odion said, this same man, while in Apapa's camp, was on almost all TV stations accusing Abure of foreigners and corruption. Yeah, I remember. Ogun said, how come they don't give this man to Rafai to be interviewed? And Chris said, for goodness sake, Peter Obi leaves his party for these people. I told them severally. Ufo said they should check this man for high BP because he's always stressed out.